Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today with another budget deck profile. I'm going to talk about some Krawler deck profile because I actually like crawlers. They'll not be the best meta version or whatsoever. They'll be more for people who want to pick up a deck, want to have some fun with other people, not pay crazy amount of money for it like I plan to do, because you can't have every deck the most competitive version because that will cost shit tons of money. And I will actually try to make it as quick as possible with the unnecessary cards. You'll see some spicy little take cards, and you will be able to play this deck in, like, let's say locals or with friends or whatsoever. So don't expect anything too crazy, but I have some spicy takes prepared. Starting out with the Krawler Glyle, I think, is the Krawler that can special summon monsters from your hand, which can be pretty neat. Obviously you want to run that triple. Then the Krawler monster triple that can search one. For the first time I thought, oh, that's a crazy good effect, like you can search a Krawler, but I realized all the Krawler monsters are not really that good, so searching them is, you know, it's good being able to search them, or it's not that good sometimes. Triple across spine, basically like the Mad Bucket Eater kind of thing, that can, when it's flipped, pop a monster. Want to do that a lot, but you have to target, so it's not as good as you think. I ran triple Dendrite, the Foolish Burial one, but only for Krawler, sadly. Because not because the effect is so good, but mainly actually because it is the highest attack monster, and if you have your link plays ready, then you actually can get like some high beat sticks, if you might say, with the fuel spell and so on. So that's why I ran at 3. Plus you want to get some Krawler monsters in the deck, because you don't want to start your hat without like 1 or 2 Krawlers, because then your deck is basically useless. I run double the Krawler that destroys spell trap cards. If you're playing against an opponent that has a lot of spell trap cards, a lot of back row or whatsoever, then you can play him at 3 if you want to. And with the new support, I feel like the card got a tiny bit better, still not that good, and still more like of a late game kind of option. It's Ranveer, the guy that lets you pick up to 2 Krawlers from your graveyard. I really don't like the card that much, but the stats are okay-ish for a Krawler monster, the attack points, and also being able to recycle cards from your graveyard at like turn 4 or 5 plus can be quite neat, and you will go in a lot of turns if the game works out well. I run one World Legacy card because you don't really flip some, you don't really get the effect of that much, but with this variant of the deck you actually can get it out sometimes, so I thought playing it at once, being able to search certain cards in the deck can be quite neat. Triple the new card, World Legacy Survivor, because that first of all gives you like a pretty good search for your field spell as well if you hit it. It's like an upstart goblin, but arguably a little bit better, because you can pick a card if you hit multiple ones, and you kind of set up your graveyard. In other decks that would be better. In the Krawler one, getting Krawler cards to the graveyard is, it's okay, but not really that good. But I really like the card, so I run it at 3, and I think that is one of the cards that you should, without debate, run at 3, even though if Farfar says something different. A triple field spell, because the field spell like gives you somewhat of a possibility to actually establish field presence. You kind of want to see it first turn. If you don't, it doesn't matter that much, as long as you have one of your trap cards or 2 that support your Krawler monster and one Krawler monster, then you should be fine. Still, it's somewhat decent removal as well if the effect goes off, but we'll see about that. I run 1 terraforming. You actually can go for 2 and cut 1 Ranveer if you really feel like it. I feel like I like the ratio of the monsters so far, but if you really feel like you want to run more terraforming before it gets actually limited from semi-limited, then you actually could do that. I run double Paw of Desires. You could go for that, I think, Verdant Sanctuary or whatever it's called. When the insect monster is destroyed, you can add one to your hat with the same level or different name, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a continuous spell card. I feel like it was way too slow to actually profit out of it, so I did not do it. Plus it doesn't work for link mods, I think, because they don't have a level, so that was my kind of thought. I run one of that very old card. It's Where's Wormbait. I don't have Wormbait right now, so you want to play Wormbait, just ignore this card, just play Wormbait and Yugioh. I run 1 Dark Hole. You could run Raigeki if you want to, but since that was meant to be a budget deck profile, I'm showcasing Dark Hole. Now to the trap lineup. The trap lineup of this deck is actually pretty good. It's the new trap card. Obviously, you want to run it at 3. It is somewhat of a negate, like monster effect negate, and makes you float. The setup is not that big for it, but you want to have one Krawler monster face up on the field, and your opponent needs to activate a monster effect. They can play around it quite easily, but I like the fact that you can float and negate at the same time. So that is pretty good in my opinion already. So you definitely want to play that at 3. It's mainly your form of disruption. I play triple World Legacy Pawn because for a flip deck, that's kind of important to get your monsters from like flip, get the flick effect off. Wow. Plus, you actually make them so they're like open cards on the field, which is important for the effect if you do that during your opponent's turn. Let's say your opponent like activates Dark or Yugioh or whatever, wants to get rid of your monsters, activates a monster effect that will pop your face down card, so like the flip effect doesn't trigger. Then you can activate the effect of World Legacy Pawn, get that monster face up, then its effect triggers, it's removed besides by battle, and you can float, plus the flip effect goes off, so you actually plus off that quite a lot. That's why I like this. I play triple of the Threatening Roar because in a flip deck that was meta at points when flip decks were still good, about like 10 years ago. Making your opponent not being able to attack is quite neat at the start because the only weak point of your monster is they can be destroyed by battle without their effects, like the second effect triggering that they can float, because they all have the same effect that they float if they get sent from the field to somewhere else. I think it's even if they get shuffled back to the deck, I think the effect triggers, so that is pretty fine. But otherwise, you don't want your opponent to attack, so maybe he'll try to get rid of monsters that you have on the field with card effects. If you then flip them, you actually can float even more, and he thought he would let you not do that by getting rid of your monsters because he doesn't want you to establish field presence over the time. Another card, spicy tech card I run that has to do with this kind of effect is the Desert Sunlight, because you can make your every monster on the field go into a face-up defense position, and the thing is that even triggers your flip effects and makes all of your monsters be face-up. So if your opponent actually chains stuff like uses stuff like Dark Hole, Raigeki, any other mass removal card, then you actually just chain Desert Sunlight, and all your monsters will be face-up. They'll all trigger their flip effects, and they will all trigger their second effect, so you float. So you actually establish quite a field presence in the meantime. That's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, I have nothing spicy prepared. You can obviously run like rank 2 engines, but I feel like best version if you actually just play with crawlers, because I don't want to extra link someone or whatever. You could probably try and do that, but I don't feel like it. Plus, the World Legacy Survivor stops you from using anything else but link monsters. Obviously, you can play Borderload or whatever. If you have a lot of money, you can play all kinds of shenanigans. I guess Topologic Bomber Dragon would work as well. But right now, I just felt like including all 3 of the Krawler monsters 3 times, because you can go into them quite a lot and they float as well, and they even float if they get destroyed by battle, so you kind of want to do that. And you actually have a pretty good win condition if you can spam your board with them, and I think attack your opponent directly at one point as well. They will boost attacks and so on, so they work pretty well together. You could go for cards like Mrs. Radiant as well, but I think if you just play a pure Krawler variant, then without like scapegoats or whatsoever, then I honestly think the Krawler monsters are good enough if you want to keep it budgety. But obviously the good thing about an extra deck is you can put like additions into it whatever you want. That's just the showcase for like the skeleton of the extra deck, obviously, because I did not want to get like a competitive extra deck for crawlers yet, unless I really feel like that at one point. Then I'll obviously update you on to that, but right now that's all you're getting. I hope you're fine with that, and I hope you have a good day. Leave a like if you like the video, ask me anything in the comments. Wow, that took me a while, and have a nice day.